Hey guys, welcome back to the CNSL Season 7. We are finishing up the round of 16's Group A. We are now in the decider match. Ample has been eliminated, Ruin has advanced, and one out of Motive and Paralyze are going to the round of 8. Of course, after this is done, this is the final group. Some people ask, why is Group A last? It's just, you make groups and then you figure out when people can play, right? That's just kind of how it goes. This is CNSL, it's not ASL. You don't tell them when to play. You say, hey, are you guys available? Okay, let's go. Anyways, yeah, let's get into this PvP match. Not sure who I'm favoring. Kind of Motive a little bit. We'll see if I'm going to be right about that. Maybe I'm overvaluing Motive. I really like all three of these Protosses. I think they're all very, very good players. Three of the best of the real up-and-coming squad, with Ruin, of course, being my favorite for a while. But here we go. In the top left, the Afro Toss, it's Paralyze. In the bottom right, Motive. All right. So, we're on Neo Dark Origin, 2-player map. It does have a ramp, so, there's that. It's not like there's going to be anything probably too crazy. I don't think we'll see anything like proxy gates. I think we will see zealots first, and yeah, that's about as far as I can go right now with this. These guys both have kind of like a different style from what we saw from Ruin, right? Ruin really liked some of those Dark Templar openings, and he did a great job against both these guys with those. You can see it mixed in, but I do feel like both these guys are more robo-centric, more Reaver-centric in their play. It's kind of funny how that is, right? It's like different. I guess it's like part of the fun, part of the beauty is that everyone has like their own types of units and types of styles that they like to use, right? Like obviously like Snow would be synonymous with Reavers, for instance, right? There's been players over the year where it's like, oh, this guy is a carrier guy. This guy's a wraith guy. This guy's a vulture guy, right? This guy's extremely good with Marines. It's, everyone kind of has their own signature thing they do. And when I look at these guys, the thing is with Motive, I feel like Motive is like really well balanced. That might be one of the reasons I value him a lot. Is it feels like he plays, how do I put it? Like he plays pretty meta, and he plays like he kind of always has options, right? He doesn't go super hard in anything. And then I look at Paralyze, it's like, okay, he's very into Speed Shuttle. He'll go 2 Robo most games against Terran. In PvP, it'll be mostly Reaver Goon, I guess most everyone does that, right? But yeah, it's just, you kind of see these styles pop up, and kind of makes it more interesting, I guess. You don't want everyone doing the same thing. That would be so lame if that were the case. I love the diversity of openings. But anyways, taking a look, Motive was the first one to scout. Paralyze does get his scout down here as well, though. And Motive did not make a zealot. So that's a little difference. I thought he might go for that, just to watch out for things like if his opponent went for anything aggressive with zealots, or, we could see there. You see what he's doing here? Paralyze is trying to get a Manor Pylon, but you can see that Motive actually just stopped a probe there, because that's an excellent Manor Pylon spot. You put that down, not only does it trap a probe and make this patch hard to mine, probes will start going around the mineral patch to mine that patch. So it's really, really powerful, especially if your opponent doesn't go for a zealot. And if they don't and you get it off, it's always net advantage. Okay, anyways, we have a couple of units coming down, and yeah, we're going to have a turnaround immediately here from Motive. Puts just a little bit of damage onto that zealot. It's mostly shields, though. Gonna back up, and he does have a second one coming. Second gateway has already been made, so a similar build to what we saw in Game 1 against Ruin. And he should be going Robo here as well. This is very, very similar to what we saw from him in that first game against Ruin once again. Yeah, we'll see if he throws that Robo down. He's saved a lot of gas, so I think it will be the case. Robo going down here for Paralyze, but of course with the quicker double gate here for Motive, we might see him put on a little bit of pressure with those Dragoons. Walks out, and he's actually going to meet the probe, kind of the probe watching for a move out at the moment. Paralyze, you can see, if we zoom out a little bit, he's moved one Dragoon over here to stop scouting. One is in the center. And the Zealot just kind of sitting back. See if he can catch that probe before it gets in there. Another Dragoon coming down. You want to do that scout denial. Notice the same type of thing going on from Motive as Paralyzed has done. You don't want them to know. It's like, am I taking an expansion? Who knows? Hiding information. A key to Protoss. Observatory on the way. No second gateway. Is Paralyzed just going to go for a Nexus and then go into Reaver? I think so. Okay, so this is 4 Dragoons against Zealot, 3 Dragoons. The 4 Dragoons do win that slightly. And in fact, if you can dodge the Zealot, if your micro is that good, then you can win it by a lot. But a 4th Dragoon comes out. So actually a little bit problematic here for Motive. He's going to have to run away. He did take some pretty significant damage on 1 Dragoon here. 2 more come up to join. So his Nexus is about a third the way done. No Nexus started for Paralyze. Paralyze instead going for Reaver first. I think he's a little bit nervous about this attack that's coming in. So he moves back. You know, if your opponent has those 4 Dragoons, when you have a Zealot and 3 Dragoons, then you kind of know there's at least a second gateway. So he's slowed everything down, basically, guys, to get the Reaver. He definitely was planning on Nexus. But when you see this coming, he says, no, I'm not going to risk it. And he made the right choice because the Reaver's not out yet. This would have killed that. Okay, looking down here. Dude, this is really good. I was actually talking about how Ruin gives me Rain vibes in his PvP, but this is actually specifically this play that we see is reminding me of a specific game that was played on Coliseum by Rain in the KSL in PvP. Where Rain went 3-gate and he ran into like a Reaver opening that held him. And then it was like just better tech. And then Rain just added a 4th gate and just went 4-gate range goon and had his expansion up and just like kind of stomped everything. I can't recall who his opponent was. It was someone very good, but obviously they were in KSL. But yeah, this is kind of giving me those vibes right now where it's like, okay, you have the tech advantage, but actually I got the expansion up, and now I'm just going to pump out these pretty quality units. Now the shuttle is out, and he has a couple goons off to the side, and he's putting down pylons to try to check for outcoming shuttles. This is a really important moment. Does this go across the map? Does it try to help the breakout attempt here of Paralyze? Paralyze is in a position where he's going to be all in very quickly. We'll see. Maybe he gets a bunch of probes and that changes things, because this seems like it hasn't been seen yet. And in fact, these Dragoons that you see, like, I think he's looking for the shuttle. So this might really catch him off guard. Okay, drops out that Reaver. Very quick reaction from Motive. Paralyze backing up. He is getting that shuttle speed. See, you see that Paralyzed style coming out even in a Protoss versus Protoss, although this would be like the right place to do that anyways. Okay, let's see what that shot looks like. Ooh. Yeah, not too surprised that one missed. It was targeting a probe that was not last in line, so it couldn't quite hit, so it does end up dudding. Still a good containment, but there's enough units here now to break out. We'll see when he tries to do that. The shuttle hasn't taken hull damage yet, which is important. These Dragoons roaming, looking to catch it. Okay. All shields gone. If you lose this shuttle, I don't think you're going to win this game as Paralyzed. I think you absolutely need this. Now, the speed upgrade done, he's going to just zoom across here and go towards the main base. Sees that Reaver Tech is on the way. He can't be happy with this spot. He's got a really strong army, but this is so... like, everything that Paralyze is doing is reliant upon his Reaver and Shuttle. Because he needs it for the additional Reaver and Shuttle over here. He has a good Dragoon count. Can he get out of here with this? Maybe just keeping his opponent busy and utilizing the second shuttle, he can come down. But regardless, Paralyze must attack. There is no option for him to just make a command center and sit there. He'll get overwhelmed. So we need to see him attack. It should be very, very soon. Kind kind of surprised how long this has taken him. He loads up double Reaver and then double Dragoon. Should switch those shuttles, though. Yeah, I think that's what he's... Oh, he's setting up a flank. Or maybe he thinks that there might still be stuff here, and there's not. That's kind of funny. I think his observer saw that there's not stuff there, so he's just going to come down now. So he was basically elevatoring out to flank the army that was containing him, but Motive too smart. He actually already moved home. Now, Motive going up to the bridges. He catches the observer, so that's nice. Again, Paralyze must attack. He's down 15 workers, but they're the same in army supply. That being said, he's got the Reavers with the speed shuttle. There's one Reaver. There is a second Reaver on the way. I wonder, are we going to have more Reavers here? No, just a speed shuttle sitting there. Okay, not a fan of what's going on for Paralyze right now. I think he's been pretty outplayed. He's going to have the same Reaver count. Maybe, I guess he is starting a third one now. He's way down in workers. He's going to be way down in Dragoons. And his Reaver advantage is dissipating as we speak. I think Motive is in a brilliant spot. As long as he doesn't screw up and lose a big chunk of army somewhere at a very disadvantageous trade. If that doesn't occur, I think he's got this game. Definitely looks that way right now. All right, the double speed shuttle heading towards this natural. There's 4 goons waiting. Looks like he's going to go ahead down here instead. Of course, vision is being had there, I guess, by Motive. Comes up, starts dropping out those zealots. Those are kind of for tanking and dealing a little bit of damage. He's going to lose that shuttle really quickly and just going to have to get out of there, unfortunately. Now, Paralyze has a bunch of goons over the side. This is more goons than we see there, and he's flanking with even more. So this is going to be a rout for these Dragoons. So this is what I was talking about before, where you don't want to lose a group like this. So that was a very good trade for Paralyze. Paralyze gonna have that Nexus up finally. We've been mining for a long time for Motive. He's up to 6 gates, which is basically full production on 2 base. 6 gate Goon plus 1 Robo Reaver. Looks like he's getting ready for an additional base as well. I don't think he can be killed. So I think that's a good solid play. I think the only way to lose this is to like screw up going over the bridges or something. It really feels like the only way that he can throw this game. I think that third base is really, really smart. And with the third base is where you start to really see macro come in. So we'll probably see things like the Citadel come up, legs come up, things like that. Well, actually, I say that, and then I see a second Robo being made. So that's kind of a funny, different way to do it. He's getting Reaver damage as well. So maybe just like really masked up. Oh, nice. He actually gets that final hit. Really masked up Reavers at that point. It might be a map thing where, you know, because of the bridges, he doesn't want to go for grouped up, clumped up Zealots and instead just utilize Reavers. A little bit surprised, though, because it feels like with his extra probe count, with the fact that he's getting his third Nexus quicker, he should be able to just kind of overwhelm on ground with a little bit of Reaver support, maybe even going into Psystorm. But yeah, going much heavier into that Reaver tech. You can see shuttles and Reavers being made at the same time. Forge coming up as well. Just kind of removes some of the Dragoons on the side. Army supply is still pretty similar for these guys. 5th gate coming up. You know, Paralyze, I really wasn't feeling this game for him, but he's doing a good job. You can't... Like, he was way, way behind, and the gap isn't as bad as it was. It's still... Like, Motive is still ahead, don't get me wrong. He's definitely ahead, but... Paralyze has like a little bit of map control. I don't know if this is real map control because it feels like Motive can come out and take it back when he wants. But, you know, look at this. He's getting some hits with his Reavers and everything. He's doing a good job. Third base is up and mining. This is where that probe count is really going to kick in. 51 probes on 3 bases is insane. Sends a lot of Dragoons up here. Are we going to see a 4th base taken even? More Reavers and shuttles still being produced. And we are going to have a bit of an engagement here. Motive microing forward, and he picks off one of the Reavers really, really quickly. Dude, Paralyze, though, has so many more units here. Motive fighting pure Dragoon against the entire army of Paralyze, a lot of his units not there. Look at how many units he has that were not fighting there. How far ahead does he think he is? This is insane. He has to pull back. Why are we fighting like that? He's got all these Reavers and everything. He's just not utilizing them. All these Dragoons that weren't in that fight. Paralyze may have given himself an opportunity here to win this game. Definitely taking a good trade here. Finally, the Reaver's going to come up and join. This is a very clumped up area, so you do have to be careful about those Reaver shots. Don't forget, we have that plus 25 damage to the Scarabs against just regular Scarabs here on the other side. So definitely makes a big difference when the Reavers are hitting. And you can see just pure Dragoon death. A million billion Dragoons dying here. Paralyze continuing to push. He's got a lot of army here. He's microing his Reavers well. Oh my god, the shuttle just got sniped. That means that the Reavers can make even a bigger difference, but they get picked off immediately thereafter. Another good Reaver hit. Reavers of Motive continuing to push forward. Okay. And thus, we have kind of reset a little bit. Okay, let's try to take stock of where we're at. Okay? Only 45 probes, but he's mined out his main, so that's okay. Let's call the probe count even. Okay, obviously the income is going to be slightly better for Motive at the moment, but yeah, looking at this, Motive definitely has more supply. He's had more gates for a long time. He's had the additional robo for a long time. Looks like he's taken a very good engagement here. I think this is actually Paralyzed giving up. If he loses all these goons, he has like literally nothing. Look, just what's popped out of his gates in the last 32 seconds. Yeah, the Dragoon count, very, very high for Motive. He's got those Reavers. You can see that supply differential up to 40 now. And with only a 7-worker lead, that means just a massively bigger army. He even has that +1 attack and the Reaver damage, both of which, you know, Paralyzed does not have. So it does look like Motive is going to be able to take this first game. He definitely had the lead for basically the whole game. The only move I saw that was really questionable was that Dragoon engagement there. That was the only one where it's like, ooh, this is just not it. Right, a little Reaver drop comes out, trying to get a bit of damage. Can't quite kill it. Regen and armor. A little bit annoying. Looks like 4 Reaver drop into the natural. Glad I caught it. Forces everything back. Didn't really lose any probes there, though. Ran them in time, luckily. But still, very hard to actually end up engaging. 4th base is up here. I think it's just a matter of time before Paralyzed GG's. He doesn't have any real tools to fight back. He did go for his own double robo. That's really interesting. Maybe there's a meta shift in PvP would probably be the last thing I would notice as far as meta shifts in various matchups. I will admit that I watch almost 0 PvPs outside of what I cast. Like very, very low number. So the fact that we're seeing double robo is very interesting to me. Because they're both doing it. Like, standard was generally, like, maybe you'll go to 4 Reavers and 2 shuttles on 1 robo, but you're generally going into Citadel and Psystorm instead of the 2nd robo. Cool to see, though. And obviously a lot of the Reaver damage upgrades. That's been very popular. Not this game for Paralyze, because he's just kind of been behind and hasn't been able to afford it, but yeah. Another big Reaver drop over here. Well, picks one off at least. Only a single Reaver remains in that shuttle. And Motive going to continue to push. Just dropping his Reavers right out. He's trying to end the game now. And I think he might be able to. There's just so few units on the other side. Well, actually, I mean, there's an okay amount. But the 2 Reavers on the high ground, like, you can't really engage up to this. Yeah. 3 Reavers now. With that plus 25 damage. Let's see if the Reavers try to snipe each other. Oh, pops one. Gonna micro them back. Some nice Reaver juggling going on for sure. But this is going to be game. Nothing left for Paralyze for reals this time against 4 base. GG. Motive takes out game 1. All right, getting into game number 2, we have Paralyze here in the top right, and in the bottom right, we have Motive. Motive with a very forceful game there. Really took control early on, got an advantage. Paralyze unable to really come back. Like, I think he recovered reasonably well considering how far behind he was. It did feel like he needed to attack. And the attack may not have worked, but we saw that as he went into the macro game, it's like, well, you're down like 20 probes. Everything's going to be slower. You're going to have just slightly less of everything. You know, I think he had to hit with his first 2 Reavers. I think it was his only option was to just do an all-in push there. Because it's just like your opponent's getting Reavers at this point. So it's going to, like, if the only advantage you have is tech, you have to utilize that, right? No matter what advantage you have, if your opponent has like 3 advantages and you have 1 advantage, you better push that 1 advantage somehow, right? And you're not going to push that 1 advantage defensively in this matchup. That's not going to occur. Anyways, yeah, we're on Blitz Y now. So Blitz Y is small 2-player map. Not exactly sure what we're going to end up seeing. I do like the prevalence of these 2-gate range rushes that we've been seeing. It reminds me of old meta PvP from many, many years ago, like 2005-ish or something. I remember that being very popular back then. I actually helped some WCG players practice PvP back then. Like, you know, back then it wasn't so much about really great Reaver micro. Obviously there was that, but, you know, I could execute Dragoon micro and DT builds and stuff, so I did help some friends practice for their PvPs. So I remember some of the build orders from back then, actually. It's a blast from the past right there. Now, Probe Scout coming out first from Paralyze across the map. We'll see if anyone starts at Zealot. And yeah, Paralyze starts his, but we do not see that from Motive. It's interesting watching these guys try to skip one. Don't forget that if you do not make the Zealot and they get that offensive pylon, that's going to be very, very annoying to deal with, especially if they send their Zealot down, because then your Dragoon is wanting to attack that, and the probes are going wild, and then a Zealot comes in and is messing everything up. It's just, it gets dirty. We'll see if Paralyze goes for that. He hasn't seen a probe, so yeah, I think he's maybe going to try. Okay, he zooms through there. He'll do it again. Yeah, see, he's looking for a timing to do it. You got to kind of wait for the probes to like settle themselves. See that? Motive pulled this one back to block. Oh! And he gets it. He gets it. He did not send the Zealot down, though, so it's not as big as it could have been. Now, look at this. See this? This is the problem. Now you have 2 probes going behind the minerals, and you might even get more. Plus 3 probes are attacking here. So it causes a lot of screwed up mining time. And he cancels at that last second. So he only loses 25 minerals for that. Absolutely costs more than 25. And look, still the probes are screwed up. They'll fix themselves after this run. But yeah, very good offensive pylon. This is one of the reasons why making that Zealot makes sense very, very oftentimes. Okay. Paralyze came up and saw the Citadel. And it gets canceled. So he was trying to block it with the Goon. Sees the Citadel. And then the Citadel cancels. Okay, so that's like some old school stuff there. As Protoss, they scout your tech. You cancel, you go the opposite tech. So if they see the Citadel, they have to go Observer. 100%, they have to go Observer, or it's the dumbest gamble ever. So what we should see here from Motive is he should go directly into Reaver. He should skip Observer, go Reaver, and just go try to kill him. Right? Because if it's like you're doing 2-gate Observer and your opponent does 2-gate Reaver, you're going to minimum, right? Minimum, you're going to have Shuttle Reaver when they only have Reaver. And you might even have Shuttle Reaver when they only have Dragoons they've taken an expansion. Okay, well, I say all that, and all those mind games are gone because Paralyze just came up, pushed up with a Zealot, and saw that it was a Robo Switch. So now he doesn't have to go Observer. And in fact, he goes 3-gate, And, well, if you go 3-gate, you go Observer anyways, because you may as well. You already have the Robo. But you can't afford the Reaver off the 3-gate. Reaver, you need to have only 2 gates to afford. But it does look like we're going to have Observer, Shuttle, and Reaver all coming off of this Robo for Motive. Motive moving forward on the map a little bit here. Probe still scouting to the side. The 3-gate of Paralyze. Like, he has the probe in a position. This might be like a little bit of a fake, but actually, I guess not, because he has Dragoons on both sides, so he's not going to get scouted there. Yeah, moves forward. Ooh, good moves here from Paralyze. He's getting some good damage. Kills 1 goon already. Okay. Takes his shields mostly off of a couple of them, but will back up from there. Not going to try to shove his way through that little hole. Now, the Observer going down, that's going to allow him a nice scout. Observer done here for Motive. Going to go up and meet his Dragoons, it looks like. Maybe he can catch this Observer coming across. The first Observer across is the one that dies, generally. The Dragoons moving over here for Paralyze. Oh, get that Observer. And he does get it, but Paralyze is going to have a better engage here. He is up a goon. Oh, another goon comes out, though. Now 5 versus 5. He's kind of on the low ground there, though. That's not good. Paralyze getting a bit of damage there. Motive pulling back. He does have that Reaver on the way. 3-gate Dragoon, right? Like, Reaver can be a good counter against this. Kind of a similar position to what we saw in the previous game. Now, one of the big differences is this is a 3-gate into the expansion. This is a 2-gate with a quick Reaver, right? Last time it was a 2-gate versus a 1-gate Reaver. So definitely very, very different. We can get more units quicker for Motive here. And he has instant counterplay because both of their mains are on the right? So he has a free fly zone over to this main base. So we'll see if he's able to surprise him, get some damage done. He killed off 1 egg. Looks like he wants to kill off another one. He has a probe in front. This is for some tanking and screwing up AI. Here comes that Reaver. 2 probes. Ooh, another 3. Oh my God, this game's done. This game's done. He killed almost all the probes. Just not quick enough on that response. Oh, dude. Like, oh, good thing that one dudded. All right, good stuff. Oh, and another 2. 9 probes to 30. Well, he's getting a second Reaver. If he just, like, makes units and then attacks, he wins. It's almost impossible to lose that. You just can't produce anything off of that many probes, right? Like, he's going to make more probes. He has a Reaver that's going to be there defensively. Second Reaver's coming out. I think basically at this point, yeah, look at this. Paralyze trying to make something happen. He knows that if he backs up, there's just going to be a shuttle that pops out, and Motive's going to walk across the map and kill him because he can't produce units. Loses 3 Dragoons on the way out of there, unfortunately. Nexus gets started. We should just see a shuttle. There it is. And as that shuttle comes out, I think it's just game over. Just consistent production, sending those units across the map. Yeah, GG is called, and that means we have ended Group A. Motive and Ruin going to advance. Ample and Paralyze, not good enough this time, but I think they both put out excellent games. This was a very good group. I know a lot of PvP in here, but a very good group. I enjoy these PvPs. I hope you guys did as well. And that wraps up the round of 16. We'll be going into the round of 8 in CNSL Season 7 next. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed.